called it that. Anyway, I'll get the boring bit out of the way and introduce our care workers first. Just kidding. Mike's in charge. Well, mostly. He's been here for years and only goes on holiday once in a blue moon. Last time we found a World War II grenade. Gus pulled the pin, and even though nobody was seriously hurt, our other care worker Gina had to go for a checkup. Electra was a right rebel and even convinced Faith to pretend to be in charge. We got a little holiday of our own out of it. May Lee arrived after Gina left and wasted no time in tackling Bailey to the ground. She gets on with all of us, especially little Archie. Mind you, May Lee can take that care and sharing lark a bit far. At one point, she gave us all knits. Weirdly, Floss loved having knits, but she's always been a bit, well, odd. She once stole Harry's special giraffe toy Jeff and cut his head off. Thankfully, Harry took it all in his stride. He got fostered once, but the family were horrible, and he and his foster brother Finn were rescued by Ryan. But in the end, Harry got adopted. Not everyone gets adopted. Some of us go back home to our families. Lily went to live with her dad and his girlfriend, and this really hurt Carmen. So much so that Carmen kicked a football and broke a window. Carmen and T often had their fallouts, but they were always going to be best friends. After T's brother Johnny got rid of their bully of a stepdad, Johnny left for the army, then T and Carmen left to live together. But moving out hasn't always gone to plan. Frank left, but then got kicked out of his flat and was living on the streets, where he met a refugee called Kazima. Eventually, Frank moved in with his bestie, Liam. Kazima came to live with us, but when the authorities didn't believe how old she was, she nearly got sent back to Somalia. Luckily, her dad turned up, and she was allowed to stay. Even though things weren't easy for Kaz, she always tried to do the right thing, like when the twins, Billy and Tony, borrowed a doll from our awful next-door neighbour Umblebee's attic. When Kaz found out, she made them take it back, even though they all got accidentally accused of burglary. Finally, Kaz did get her happy ending, and was reunited with her dad and brother. After Bailey arrived, he started fights with Rick and Johnny right away. He did eventually start to settle in, even rescuing a dog called Mischief who came to live with us. Bailey's football mad. Meanwhile, Sasha arrived with a bang. No, really. She smashed up our minibus. Sasha's brother Dexter started hanging around looking for football tips off Bailey, who was feeling lonely after Mo went back to his granddad. Sasha hated that and got their new stepbrother Roddy to start coaching Dexter instead. Bailey realised that Roddy was making Dexter help him burgle houses. Bailey and Sasha teamed up to save Dexter, who then came to stay. Roddy was caught and lost his place at a football coaching course in America, so Bailey got to go instead. Roddy wasn't the only thief that we've encountered. Someone broke into Mike's car and stole Carmen's personal file, which led to Mike getting suspended. We were all in shock. Well, except Ryan. Ryan blamed Mike for everyone thinking that it was his fault that his sister Chloe ended up in a wheelchair. But once Tyler started investigating, he found out the truth. Ryan got cold feet on the day of Mike's hearing and planted Carmen's file in the office for us to find. Mike's job was saved. Mike was the only one who worked out the truth about what Ryan had done and gave him a warning. After misunderstanding again, Ryan thought he was getting kicked out of the DG. He tried to convince everyone to get rid of Joseph instead. Fed up with her brother scheming, Chloe told us all that it was Ryan who got Mike suspended. Chloe didn't need Ryan anyway. She had a new friend, Candy Rose, who came to live with us and caused chaos on our trip to the farm because she let all the animals go free. My best mate Tyler always had a lot to deal with when his mum showed up. One time, she wanted Tyler to come and live with her. He realised it was too soon and they decided not to rush it. Tyler stayed put, which is a good job really, because he's usually the one who keeps the peace around here. Like when Kazima's friend Alex moved in. No one trusted him because he stole some of our stuff and ruined the mural, but Tyler stepped up and got Alex to trust him. Then there's me, Jodie. I moved back in with my family a few years ago, but it was a mistake. My brother Kingsley had been stashing stolen goods and bullying me, so Tyler and Carmen rescued me using Morse code. When Kingsley was due in court, my mum said I'd be snitching if I gave a statement against him, but I still had to do what was right. When Kingsley eventually got out of prison, he said he'd changed. I wanted to make his flat nice for him, and I even lit candles. A fire started, but Tyler came and saved me again. I'm lucky to have a friend like him. All the younger kids think we're going to be a couple, but we're not, okay? Our friendship's too important. Plus, we're like one big family here at the dumping ground. A big, messy, funny, amazing family. And I wouldn't have it any other way. Hey, I'm Jodie. I'm here to fill you in on what's been happening at the dumping ground. That's what we call the care home where we all live. Ashling Ridge? It was Tracy Beaker who first called it that. Anyway, I'll get the boring bit out of the way and introduce our care workers first. Just kidding. Mike's in charge. Well, mostly. He's been here for years and only goes on holiday once in a blue moon. Last time we found a World War II grenade. Gus pulled the pin, and even though nobody was seriously hurt, our other care worker Gina had to go for a checkup. Electra was a right rebel and even convinced Faith to pretend to be in charge. We got a little holiday of our own out of it. Mei Lee arrived after Gina left and wasted no time in tackling Bailey to the ground. She gets on with all of us, especially little Archie. Mind you, Mei Lee can take that care and sharing lark a bit far. At one point, she gave us all knits. Weirdly, Floss loved having knits, but she's always been a bit, well, odd. She once stole Harry's special giraffe toy Jeff and cut his head off. Thankfully, Harry took it all in his stride. He got fostered once, but the family were horrible, and he and his foster brother Finn were rescued by Ryan. But in the end, Harry got adopted. Not everyone gets adopted. Some of us go back home to our families. Lily went to live with her dad and his girlfriend, and this really hurt Carmen. So much so that Carmen kicked a football and broke a window. Carmen and T often had their fallouts, but they were always going to be best friends. After T's brother Johnny got rid of their bully of a stepdad, Johnny left for the army, and T and Carmen left to live together. But moving out hasn't always gone to plan.